Leo. Hi, guys.
Hi, Leo.
Welcome to Providence Tarot. I'm Kendrick.
And I'm Dale, and I'm a Leo.
He is a Leo.
Ha!
And I'm a Libra. I'm ruled by Venus. Venus is in Leo right now. And he and I both have Venus in Leo. This is how we started the video yesterday, but that's like an honest explanation, so I had to say it all again this time. Yesterday,
That's true.
right, yesterday, you guys, we started the Leo video, but it was cut off just due to some technicalities. But we're back, and we're going to give you the same spread because it's laden with
Right,
major
because it's a
arcana
monthly
energy.
spread,
Right.
and there's a lot of relativity to it, and it is what it is. The cards have pulled themselves serendipitously.
Right.
Let's get into it. I mean, Leo, this is for you. This is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Leo.
Right. The overall energy is the Magician at the bottom of the deck, y'all.
What's prevalent right now? The Sun right now is in Cancer, which is very similar to Leo in the sense that it's like the parent, right? Cancer is the mother, and Leo is the father. They actually react very similarly. It's just that Cancer is the High Priestess kind of yin energy, which we're in right now. So a lot of us are having like intense dreams or an intense yearning from within that we might not be able to completely grasp hold of, but we know that it's leading us to a larger understanding. And then Yang energy, which is kind of like a little bit, that's more Leo. You get into the Yang energy, you get into that Magician kind of like wham, like bam, that instant of like just surcharge, or like even 19, the Sun card in the tarot. You could get into the Strength card, which is the technical Leo card, which is 8, which is infinity, and the light that's coming from the self, and it's so bright that it's illuminating other people's lives. That's why things revolve around the Sun. So usually with you as a Leo, you already know this, you're accustomed to getting attention. Sometimes if you're not getting your healthy share of attention you're accustomed to, you will create drama. You will create things, subconsciously even, depending on where your placements are.
Because it's just what's innately you, right?
Right. And,
it's part of your experience.
And it's almost like you're bringing it, whatever is already there, out. So you're bringing it to people's attention. You're like, did you notice me? I'm here, if they didn't. And then that will, of course, stir some or evoke some type of thing. That does happen with Leo a lot.
I mean,
because you do know what you have to offer.
It's true, but being someone that is not a Leo, that experiences Leo a lot, that type of thing can be exhausting for some people if you're not compatible with that type of energy or that personality of Leo. Personally, I attract Leos because I am a Libra, and my best friend in college was a Leo. He's a Leo.
Well, his Venus is in Leo, so he's going to be attracted to Leo.
Right. My ex has Leo rising. I'm sure I know a lot of other Leos. So that for me, the Leo energy is great. You just have to be able to understand where it's coming from and why it's coming from.
That is a large part of what the Leo energy is. Understanding where it's coming from. And for somebody who doesn't do the type of study that a Leo does, especially with themselves, it can be very intimidating because Leos really do put themselves through the fire, or life itself has put them through the fire a lot. So they do come off at times as very egotistical. On the positive side, it can be very charismatic. It can be very attractive, or it can be very opinionated, and it can be very self-righteous, almost like a Virgo, because Virgo is next. But Leo is usually coming from a place of experience a lot of the times. And that experience is coming from courage that other people didn't have in their lives to do or make certain choices a lot of the time. So people do look to Leo a lot for that knowledge and for that understanding, and also for that type of loyalty of heart, because a lot of the times Leo has experienced some type of dark thing where they had to overcome something, and their expression is to their external. So if you're not someone who's external, or you understand externality, it can seem something intimidating, especially if you're a water sign or you have a strong water placement.
I think also with Leos too, just based on my experience with other Leos, is that earlier in your life, there might have been someone that was there to try to make sure you did things the way that they probably felt like was the right way. So it's like, really, in that sense, it's not so much about like getting attention. It's just what you inherently have in you that is actually alive, right? And it's not for anyone else to influence that to change you, because you know that it is something that is actually going to be valued, right? You like know what it
Leos
is,
are very
right?
sure, yeah. Well, and a lot of that goes back to the analogy
But
of
it
being
also
in the
depends
fire.
on like what your aspects are, you know, because he has some different aspects that I think that are being magnified in his explanations right now. And he does have a Cancer moon, so that's already telling you there's a lot of emotions attached and very like karmic things with that Saturn and Leo. I mean that Saturn and Scorpio, which is another fixed sign. That's more fixed energy. Mars and Scorpio, more fixed energy. So you definitely have that.
Yeah, I mean, in general, it's just talking about like as a Leo, it's like you're gonna be really possibly even prideful as a person, and a lot of that once again is coming from this ability to always attract attention, and it doesn't necessarily come from a competitive streak, but a lot of Leos are forced to compete because they evoke that kind of competitive streak in other people. They're very much doing that because Leos need to express. So a lot of the times when you put your idea out there, there's going to be somebody who feels like they need to react to your idea because it's out there. Yes. So there's automatically this kind of stimulus that's happening, and a lot of fire signs will get antagonism sometimes and not understand where it's coming from. And a lot of it is just coming from the ability to be expressive in a way that other people aren't. And that can evoke envy in people, just like a Taurus could evoke envy in someone who doesn't have, and a Taurus has a lot. You know, it's like these type of things that make us who we are.
Right.
So knowing these...
Sometimes I think that also with Leos, it's not that people don't it's not that people don't realize what you have to offer. It's just like it seems as though Leos always have to project those things in order so that people know that they're shining. But we see it, you know, it's there. Really, it's about existing with that energy and knowing yourself. And he's saying all of these things to you because he knows.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of that is, and right, once again, getting back to the idea of the attention. Mm-hmm. And it's because you have always had attention in your life. And if you're not, if people are not like reacting to you, yeah, but some people, you know, it's almost like the difference between, if you think of it this way, if you think of the zodiac and you think of like high school, Leo is definitely giving you the popular cheerleader or the varsity captain of the zodiac. So they're accustomed to getting attention compared to the nerdy, maybe Gemini or like Aquarius kind of smart electrical kind of, you know, but reserve kind of thing. You know what I mean? So when you're accustomed to hitting the hallway and everybody's like, what is Amber wearing? Oh my God.
What's going on?
You know, like this whole idea. Like think about Caddy and Mean Girls, right? Like actually, Leo's very much like Caddy in the sense that she was just her. She was always her in every scenario, and even though they tried to put all these things on her and change her into different things, she was her. We were just constantly discovering who she was, but she knew who she was the whole time. That's very good parallel of like what Leo energy is like.
In the higher polarity.
Yeah, in the higher polarity, definitely. Because she did some mean things. It was called Mean Girls. But in the higher polarity, that was like the string line of what you learned from that experience. And that's very Leo related.
Bam. Fire card in the rising position. 2 of Wands. This is about sharing the attention with someone, understanding that you both are actively within an experience or a situation. This might be doing activities with someone and spending time with someone, you know, going places. Maybe some of you are going on dates. I know that a lot of you are starting to meet people, Leo, you know, and it's like once you start to meet people, you don't stop. It's like, what's that slogan? Once you pop, you don't stop.
Once you pop, you don't stop. Pringles. It can definitely be like you have to make a choice in your spirit in general. Or you feel like you're coming up to places in your life. Somehow your life has like led you to a path where you now need to make decisions. And they could be major decisions or they could be little decisions. Some of these decisions are waiting periods with the 2. It's High Priestess energy, so you're probably not communicating a lot of what these decisions are to anyone. Because it's very much has to do with whatever it is internally actually that you need to decide because it's very yin.
Right.
So it's like you're thinking about being,
too.
you're thinking about being, and you're thinking about your emotions as a two. So it's water, right? You're thinking about your emotions in that concept, but it's also spirited. Mm-hmm. There's a spark to it.
Right.
Aries,
enthusiasm.
Mars, this is Mars and Aries,
right.
so it's like putting aggression into yourself.
Right.
Putting aggression into, Leos, they're not necessarily selfish people. They can be very dramatic and all of this, that, and the other, but they are not as selfish as people think. They're self-centered. Mm-hmm. In other words, if you're not affecting their lives and they're not affecting your life, be it a business establishment or thought process, they're not really thinking about you because their life is so dramatic and done. That's probably a lot of what Leo is. But they can be very emotional, empathic, charitable people.
It's after Cancer.
And, they can be, very loyal. So if somebody's going through something, they're the first person to fight for them. They're the first person to start going through this thing with this friend and remind them that they're positive and they can do it and this, that, and the other because they know exactly what it takes to be who they are. And they have passed that test. And they pass that test constantly. It's like the gift of the universe for them to give that to other people.
It's a fixed sign thing.
Right,
it's a fixed sign thing, so,
And to be the fire, it's like that's your blessing. Your blessing as a Leo, your motto is, I create. So the ability to always create and always be creative and to find that light inside of yourself. Some people need other people for that type of thing, but you can do it. You can do it to yourself, or you can have this with another person,
right?
And it might have to do with you and yourself.
He's not saying just focus on being alone. He's just saying focus on your energy and what makes you shine, right? Because then you are going to have that ability to attract people. That's the thing. You want to exist within your energy. The sun is there in this card. There's passion there. Passionate emotions about yourself and what you're willing to do because you know you can do it.
Some of you could be thinking of a person. This person could be in your life or not in your life, or was in your life, or maybe could be in your life again, or anything that has to do with a spiritual union. It could be even a version of yourself.
You're sharing something.
You could be thinking of getting back to something just because Saturn is in Capricorn, and so there's a lot of karmic lessons that we all are learning right now. With Pluto being there, you could be having some reveals all year. And Jupiter being in Scorpio, it's going to go direct before your birthday. We're in Cancer. It's going direct on the 13th, Friday the 13th.
Yeah, right.
So that's all very relevant. In Scorpio. So, and Scorpio is the next fixed sign after you. So Scorpio can relate to you in a lot of ways, but they do things in a very deep internal way versus your external way.
Actions, emotions,
your need to
passions,
be noticed,
feelings.
your need to be your need to be noticed, your need to grab attention, which is what makes certain people eye roll. Is the reason for Scorpio, their need to hurt people, their need to control a situation is the reason why people eye roll them. Right. Because it's
that's
fixed.
The fixed sign thing.
It's the fixed kind of energy and it's hard,
So we're not
a lot of other
singling
signs
out
can
Leo,
be,
you guys. We're not. That's not what's happening.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a blessing and
Maybe
it's a curse.
You want that, right?
It's a blessing because it's great that you know yourself and you're not going to be thrown like a cardinal sign or a mutable sign. You're not going to be in this sticky situation.
Look, now he's coming for cardinal and
it's
mutable signs.
True. You are. I got to give you your praise, and you are the king for a reason. Okay, so we can throw at you all you want, but you are the king of the universe in that way for a reason. So you have that kind of light inside of you for a reason because you can do this. You can take the discipline, you can take the lesson, and you know how to do it yourself.
And we know that.
How to, we
know that, right?
And so we need you to do it. It's like a karmic lesson to do it.
You don't need to punch it forward so much because it's already there. The Empress
But that's the thing, a lot of you will do it because you're not feeling that.
Right? So she's existing within her environment. She's already shining. A lot of you already know that about yourselves. So really it's just kind of getting out and exposing yourself more. Because it's that's what you can't do. That's going to be a downfall for Leo, is not exposing themselves.
Well, in a lot of Leos, it's if you're not getting that, once again, that attention, it's going to be self-defeating for you.
Right.
Whatever that means for you as a Leo.
Because you feel the beauty when it's happening for you. Right.
Because in that way, and the balance of that, Leo, is being a Leo, you're always going to attract in general. And so you're going to attract the positive and the negative. If somebody's not feeling good about themselves, you're going to attract the negative things, or you're going to bring the negative things out in them because they don't feel good about themselves, and you do.
I feel like
or vice versa. If they feel really positive, then you're going to bring that out in them, and they're going to start feeling more positive. It also just depends because, you know, the sun can scorch very easily. If you're out too long, you end up getting burned.
There's an
you know,
opposite
or
to
it
that
can be
too.
like a beautiful light, vitamin D, getting all of the nutrients, making things grow.
I mean,
you know, making life healthy.
You don't have...
There's a balance.
You don't have the Five of Wands here, but the Five of Wands would also be Saturn teaching you the lesson that, like, you know, there are other opportunities for other people to also have that type of energy surrounding them. Let's go to your recent past. Ten of Michaels. There was an ending to a situation that needed to end.
Absolutely.
Right?
So things are ending, and I think a lot of Leos, you're already there. Because for a lot of you, you've done too much. You've done too much for too many people. And one thing you don't want to make the king of the jungle feel is unappreciated. Ever. Because once that starts to happen, it's just like for a Leo, it's just done.
Because underappreciation is almost like not feeling like you're getting the attention that you deserve. But
Absolutely.
It's the attention in a certain area.
Because
you know?
that's the whole thing that drives most Leos. They're working that hard to get the attention as well. Not because they're like necessarily hungry for the attention. It's just that they want people to realize what they've realized is that they are committing so much to whatever this cause is.
Now,
this dream of their heart.
Now, I keep saying we see it, and we do, but then there are other people that see it but won't acknowledge it. So that's what he's talking about.
Right.
You know
and there's
what I mean?
a lot of acknowledging that doesn't happen with Leo at times. And for a Leo, that can be really difficult because they are about halfway in the zodiac.
It's control
so
with
not,
all the fixed signs.
You know,
it's someone else trying to control that.
And they're not like, you know, they're at the 7. So they're just at that half mark, you know. They're actually not even halfway through the zodiac because the zodiac starts with Aries, right? They're like number 5, the 5th house, Leo, you know, so you're not as old in your energy when it comes to a lot of the things you do. You're not naturally as considerate. We haven't even gotten to the social planets yet. So it can be really difficult for a sign that is really considerate, that is constantly thinking about other people, and you're not that type of person, and you're not that way for a reason as well. So everything has its purpose, and there can always be, you know, lessons learned in being fixed and lessons learned in being mutable. But we need you to shine as well, because if you were affected by everything, then we wouldn't be able to look at you as this positive thing, this manifestation of what everyone can actually do. And that's part of what the lesson is with Leo. And it is true when you do humble yourself and realize that you don't have to put anything on, that the spirit has already provided you with everything that you need, then you will really be able to attract, and more or less you will be you will give people less, because you're a fire sign, so you're always going to attract antagonism. That's part of who you are as a person. You're supposed to attract the antagonism so you can burn up the situation, because people learn from fire signs because they initiate. So you have to attract it so everybody can be like, oh, I thought that's what it was. And then you can prove it that it's not what it is, because that's what fire does. And then earth comes to code it and be like, yeah, this is what it is now, and now we're going to sell it and market it and make it into something physical that we can come to and make it progressive in that way. So that's the relationship between fire and earth, in a sense, once the zodiac goes around, because then you'll get to air and water after that, right? Just something to understand about why the fire signs are always initiating things in general. Aries being the child and initiating that spirit. Like, they'll make you feel something really fast, and a lot of it is coming from a selfish place to a lot of other people.
But that also
that selfish place is in all of us.
Right, it exemplifies that for everybody.
Right, it's in all of us because it's the first, and every sign is an accumulation of the sign before it. So you're like, oh, oh, I could have behaved like that. That's why Pisces is really eye rolling at Aries a lot, because it's like, child, you got to go through all these other signs,
There's much more to it.
And then at the same time, it's like, even though all this stuff is layered on top of it, you gotta, sometimes you just need to have that initiation. Sometimes you end up talking yourself out of leaving the house, going to do the thing that you should have been doing, because you are so experienced, right? You are so this, that, or the other, and you really should just have the reveal. Go ahead.
Transformations, baby. So you've got new beginnings, which is Pluto. This is talking about cleansing. This is talking about forgiveness. This is talking about healing. It's talking about therapy, right? This is Pluto related to Scorpio. It's really talking about the depths of what it means, of what your life means, right? In a reasoning of depth. You want to bring more depth to your life. You want to rebirth to your life. You want to transition to the next phase of existence for yourself. This is actually a really wonderful card. It says starting a new life at the first line, right? Refreshed, coming out feeling renewed, cleansed. Or you might want to cleanse yourself of a certain situation or experience or person, right? You want to extract someone from your life that doesn't belong there. You want to bring an ending to that situation. You know, I feel like that too with Venus and Leo. So don't think, you know, I'm talking about Pluto's in Capricorn right now. So we all have a very pivotal energy going on with that. Pluto being in Capricorn. And what house is that for you?
I'm getting like, you have to calculate it.
Right.
I'm getting like, you know, with the new beginning, you know, that there is may definitely be like a reveal that's going on. You know, like definitely like you probably, you know, maybe there's some type of reputable thing, or you just know there's like some facts on facts on facts about a lot of the relationships that you're intertwined in, and that has to be with your personal relationships, with your long distance relationships, with your commitments to work,
professional,
everything that makes you feel spirited, everything that makes you feel like you, right? Mars in you, like your aggressions of self. This is like you're in your ruling self, you being in your skin and why you do the things you do. And there's a new initiation to a lot of that, because I'm looking in your future here, and it's got Seven of Swords, Moon in Aquarius. So a lot of you are going to be standing alone in it. Like, you know, there may not be anyone who agrees with what you want to do. You know, like there literally may be no one who agrees with what you want to do. But in the end, it's like, you know what you're building. You know the so best, there's like, you know what's best for you. No one knows you better in that sense. And it's going to be difficult for you because you are a Leo. So you do bring a lot to the table, and not anybody is going to just want to let that go. You know what I mean? Whatever that situation may be. If it's just your energy, or if it's the fact that you are just like, you know, you always provide this thing, or, you know what I mean? It's like misery loves company kind of thing. Or,
that's definitely true.
Or, it's like any kind of thing like that. Or just ritualism. It doesn't have to be misery loves company. It could be just like, you know, you always do this. You feel nostalgic because you've been going here for 5 years, and you always do this, and, you know, it's going to be different without you being there. But at the same time, it's like, you're meant to create these things. The universe needs these shifts to happen. Major shifts are going on with Uranus and Taurus right now. It just shifted. That's your opposing you. Aquarius is ruler, Uranus.
Mars is there right now, retrograde.
And it's talking about your work and your ritualisms and like how you do the things you do. Why you do the things you do. Right?
There's a lot with that too, because it's like, you know, with Mars being in your house of relationships and being retrograde, there might be a different course of action in the realm of a relationship with you. You know what I mean? You might actually be going back to something, or you might be reconsidering a relationship that you've already established, or one that you're actually in right now, and how that plays into your life in a grander scheme of things. You know what I mean? Like if it's actually beneficial for you, yes, you better win. He just brought the immediate influence out, which is the Knight of Raphael. So this is mutable water mixed with fire. It's a Pisces card.
Pisces.
He was just talking about Pisces, you know what I mean?
Right. And so this is very watery for you as well. A lot of our
Who's dealing with
readings
the Pisces
recently
out there? Yeah.
have been very watery, and it is a watery season. It's
Yeah.
Cancer, and it's almost like every reading this month, a lot of them.
Right.
I think we might have one air, but a lot of them were mostly love
Right.
or like a water-based reading somehow.
They have been.
And
or career.
yeah.
Because it's been Pentacle and Water.
You got a lot of major arcana cards.
Yeah.
And you do have a lot of swords here. But there is, like, in your immediate influence, is talking about, you know,
It's not using your
sharing
intelligence, too.
your emotions.
Right.
Yeah, maybe you like there because the Empress is here in your moon, so you have a need to express something within you
Right.
very deeply.
Yeah.
And there's a choice and expressing it, be it to this person or establishment or even to yourself, being really completely honest with yourself, Leo. And then in that is
This
the
is
intimidation.
It's the shaping of something. You can feel it inside of you.
You've got
It's-
this Knight of Raphael here, yeah, in your immediate
it's the shaping of
influence.
something. Right.
And right, this the shaping of
The
something. So it's
shaping
like
of something.
the intimidations of these emotions that you're sharing with yourself, or that you're gonna have to share because you know the information may cause a ripple of emotions. You know, it's like anything that the king says on the throne is gonna affect some version of the people, right? You
Leo.
can't, like, you know. You can't, everybody can't have everything, you know what I mean? And
Right.
if you're sitting there and they need this thing from you, it might benefit someone because maybe you're working with this person now or you're closer to this person, but now you don't have as much time to do this
waiting
thing.
for something.
And it's like you
I think you guys.
you very
are,
much want some type of change.
I think you guys are waiting for something.
and it has something to do,
Yeah.
I think, with work.
There's a change coming because this situation is coming in, and it has to do with how you're feeling about a certain situation that you're in that you really want to get out of.
Yeah, you want to like
And
make
then
you want
it's
to make
like,
a new choice.
Right. It's like you're anticipating making that decision in the future because you're existing with the energy that something is taking
I believe
shape.
it was
And
here,
then you've got
actually.
no, it
Yesterday.
wasn't. No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Wait, let's look.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Oh,
actually.
it's in here.
Because I have I'm pretty sure that when we were duplicating the cards, the Sun and Gemini card, we were duplicating them from yesterday's reading. So there's a position with the
Right.
past and the present, and we rearranged these cards.
We'll check it.
We'll double check,
But I
but
mean, we
I'm
can
pretty
just
sure,
keep with the energy of
just
the cards,
because
I guess.
I work
We'll
off of
that.
like taking pictures in my mind. That's
Uh-huh.
just the type of person I am. I'm an actor. I study lines, memorizations. Anyway, I remember seeing the 10 of Swords, which is Sun and Gemini, which is a very prevalent card for me because I have
Right.
Gemini rising
Yeah.
in the present.
Okay.
And so that is very like you getting to an accumulation in your
Sure,
mind
I mean-
about something. You've analyzed it down to
Right.
the T. You are analyzing it. You're literally doing it now.
This
Maybe like
energy
all
is still
month.
relative, right?
Like
know,
you
it's
still have to
saying
make these choices because it's high
the
priestess
situation has
energy.
ended, and there's new beginnings from the situation that ended. Either way you spin it, you know what I mean?
Either way you
Because it's
spin
saying-
it, it's still talking about one's
endings.
talking about the finite
Right.
external
Uh-huh.
idea, and the other one's talking about
Right.
how you think about it.
Right.
Like it's like
This is like
every little thing that you do, you may be analyzing when it comes to this person,
Right.
or when it comes to this establishment or situation.
Mhm.
You know, it's like
Right.
how much energy you put into. You guys had a lot of pentacles before, so I know a lot of things came to a head recently, either in your mind or with a relationship or in your thoughts somehow.
once the situation plays out, there will be a relic of your past experience, right? It's going to be sort of like a cryptic, like, skeleton left over, right? Because that's really the purification of things when you think about it. New beginnings, it's like, I'm being saved, judgment. And then the world, that's the ending right there, the completion, and then you're left with the skeleton. That is the thing that is consistent, the mountain, the rock, Saturn, that stays. So there's going to be something that's going to be a past experience that's going to be very solidified as being a past experience, and you're not going to be going back to it. You know, and that's the choice that you're going to make in the future.
Yeah,
right
because
here.
that's you. Yeah, you're definitely leaving
Honey.
a whole thing behind, maybe
Right.
people behind.
Yeah.
And it could have been like a slow conflict that you were in for a while. Like it's a 7, so it could have been like a long accumulation of you disagreeing with some group or situation, and then your anxieties is in leaving the situation.
Don't have anxieties.
Is in what you know to be
Right.
staying on your accord. Mercury and
Right.
Aquarius, right? Communicating your thoughts, because the Knight of Cups is there, so you're like having you're having maybe intimidations about
the future.
communicating your thoughts
Okay.
about what you know to
Right.
be like, yeah, about the future. About what you know will happen after you make this choice that you feel like you need to make, and it may have something to do with another person.
You have friends. You know, this is Mercury and Aquarius, right?
Yes.
Mercury and Aquarius friends. You have friends. There's a dog in this picture.
11th house,
beautiful.
yeah.
There's a
11th
dog
house
in this
stuff.
picture. You have a trusted friend and Jesus, honey, and God. You know what I mean? That's all you really need, because you are him and he is you. So you have a trusted friend in yourself. You can make it through this storm alone if you have to. Fixed. You know what I mean? Divine
Taurus
guidance.
energy. This is also fixed in the same. Put aggression into the ritualism. If you want a new work, put aggression into it. If you're thinking about moving, put aggression into it. If it's a relationship and it's about a commitment in the relationship, and you feel like you have an ultimatum with an Aries or someone else that's being a little bit childish, or Pisces, you could go ahead and just go ahead and reveal it. Like, be like, look, where are we going with this? What are we building? Emperor energy.
Right. This isn't about what someone else
advice.
wants for you, right?
Right.
Because
Nothing.
this
It's very
is in
self.
your Mars, and it's saying I have, right? This is what your Mars is suggesting that your will is. This is you're thinking about what you have, and somebody on the opposite side is probably thinking about what they desire, which probably has nothing to do with what you have to do. So then you need to just like make sense of the situation. If you need to cut ties, if you need to thin something out somewhere, if you need to, get people out of your life who don't deserve being there. If you need to re-invite people back into your life. Mars is retrograde in Aquarius, and a butterfly just came and touched the Magician card, you guys.
That's beautiful.
Oh my God. He has wings. In this card.
Some of you are definitely
Hierophant.
taking flight.
Yes.
Definitely thinking about
That's
transformations.
I'm gonna clap again.
Because I think the last reading you had transformations even in there. Yeah.
The meaning in life.
What are you building with the yang energy here too? A lot of you are tapping into this kind of yang energy. You've got the Emperor there a lot. Maybe there's a man in your life that's coming too. That's definitely something that could be possible.
You know, he is coming, but it's saying that he's a little bit in the future, because there's a little bit of space between him and the Empress here. You know, he's down there underneath her, so that means that there's going to be some sort of like masculine
She's crowning
support
the situation,
system that's
yeah.
gonna come from somewhere.
So if they see you as this, they see you as someone who wants to express this thing, and they may be able to build it for you.
Look.
Be that an emotion in a relationship or in something in actual life.
Right.
You know, like
It's
an actual, like it's definitely,
It's coming.
that's
It's on the
hinting at
horizon.
something big.
It
And it's
is.
the beginning of that, yeah.
Right. Because you got the Two of Wands here, you got the Two of Cups here, you got the Empress here, you got the Emperor underneath supporting her. Then you've got the Magician. It's talking about initiations. It's talking about intellectualizing. It's talking about getting to know someone, initiating those forms of communication through text, through social media. Maybe you already know somebody that you reinitiated contact with that was your friend amongst a group of friends. You know what I'm saying? It's like Mars in retrograde, he just went back home actively. You know what I mean? Got around friends, got around family. We're doing this reading right here. Leo, family, opposite Aquarius, friends.
In the outcome, you have the Wheel, which is the Wheel of Fortune. What a benevolent card this is. This is the Wheel of Fortune, which is Jupiter. So this is talking about self-beneficial Sagittarius energy. And this is a progressive fire sign from you. So this is another level from you, right? Ruler of Temperance, talking about long-term goals, dreams. The deep desire of a Leo is to live out their dreams. So it's saying for some of you, the wheel is going to change everything up. You could have been going through whatever this ritualism is that you now have to put aggression into taking flight from. It's going to change up in such a way that it's going to have a new beginning for you. You're going to feel brand new in whatever it is that you're capable of. Mars and Aries. You might even begin like feeling like anything is possible again.
The Hierophant.
Like really, like a child, like oh my gosh, I can do anything. It is just me, and that was holding me back so much. I had no idea what they were doing.
That's what I'm saying. We see that shine. So get out there. You know what I mean? Get out there and do those things that you haven't been doing. Go to those calls.
Right.
Go to those interviews, those auditions.
Because that is a lot of what causes also the envy and jealousy too. When people see this possibility in you and they know that you're not actually executing it, it really is defeating to them because they think, if only I had that thing, I would do this, and you have it, and you're not applying yourself enough. And a lot of Leos could be really bruised somehow from a lot of past experiences from their family or like
artists, right.
Yeah, or even just being like who you are, the pressures of like commercial world, right, which is also very Leo, showmanship,
right.
theater,
right.
you know, all this type of stuff. It can be damaging
TV,
in that way,
movies.
or debilitating, and then you have to get back out there and show the world what you really got.
Right. Don't be worried about what
The
other
butterfly
people are
came.
thinking, right? Because that's your thing. You don't care about what other people are
It
thinking.
is true,
So,
it is your thing.
So stop thinking that you should. Or
Right.
stop thinking that other people care about what you think about them thinking about you, and get out there and do it, because it's stopping you.
Right, this
And
is
that's not
Cancer
what we're
season,
trying to
so
do.
you are kind of like
Right.
naturally in that place, right?
Because it's your 12th house. You know, it's kind of like back there.
Right.
You're
It's like the blind sight of like why you do the things you do. You may forget why.
right.
You know? You know, and it's coming from this like kind of like
Right.
family heritage child, like where you come from, even the mother.
You've gained wisdom. Especially with this here in the Mars. You definitely have the wisdom of this experience, right? And now you can use the wisdom to guide you.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's something that's very
Some of
connected
you got
to the
something
wheel.
really lucky going around. Like right now, I can't even say luck because I don't really believe in luck. But like, you know, there's some blessings that are around the corner for you if you position yourself. It's like catching the current or going fishing. You know, if you know it's a season for fishing, then you go where the fish live.
Right. So your chances
of
right.
getting the fish are higher.
Right.
Right. So some of you are relocating for those types of reasons.
I do believe in luck, but that's coming from somebody who has Jupiter in Sagittarius. But
right,
really,
and I have Jupiter
right,
in Capricorn.
Right.
So I'm like, no, I have to work hard at it. I'm not going to win the lotto.
Right.
I've got to master it. That's kind of my
Right.
natal chart.
Right.
Whereas with him, it's like, I've just got to be in the right network of things to attract what is that I need.
Right.
And like, that's why it's good to know your natal chart too.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Right, because I know why I have to do that and why it just happens that way. It's not like I'm like, and then I'm going to not, and then I'm going. It's like, okay, like, it's been happening ever since you've been born. You know what I mean? So it's not like
Right.
you're saying that you made a choice to do things this way.
Right.
Your natal chart has always existed.
It's always been. It's just a picture of the universe, and the
Right.
universe kept moving.
Right. The
Through
situation that
you.
you're in today wasn't already always existence, because you know you might have been 10 years ago and fucking.
And I think,
Omaha.
Leo, you need to, what he's been hinting at, which we kind of like been like, and our
Yeah.
egos kind of gritting towards the whole theme, which is
Mhm.
basically realizing that you're a part of your environment as much as your environment is a part of you.
Yeah.
And so just like these people need you, and you need the attention, because all summer babies need to be needed. So it's a reason why you do some of the things that you do.
Right.
And it's a healthier way to look at it.
Yeah.
Because you do, even though things can drive you crazy, and you want to be original all the time, you want to be the only person, or you need
Right.
this kind of da-da-da-da-da. It's like you also need to feel important, and you also love the fact that people do need to talk to you, and they do
Yeah.
need to get your opinion on the matter.
It's interesting
you know?
too, because with the fixed signs, you know, sometimes it'll be about like the control, but it's because of the vulnerability that lies there too. And
Right.
you know, there's vulnerability. When there's vulnerability, there's strength. You know what I mean? And that's why the strength card is your card, Leo. This is a fucking fierce reading. I'm gonna say it.
It was good. And it's right, and your birthday's coming right around the corner. So right now, you're very much thinking about what you're attracted to, and who you're attracted to, and why you're attracted to those things, and what's worth it, and what's not worth it.
Right.
What's great, what's annoying the fuck out of you. Like all of those things.
Right.
are
Here's
part
the
of
thing. Right. Exactly.
Your,
You
know, because it's like the world card
Right.
almost in that
Right.
sense.
You bring attention to yourself, but then you also bring attention to other things. So when you stop
'cause it's
bringing
the
attention
awareness,
to other
it's the
things
sun.
that don't serve you, then they will no longer be a part of your reality.
That is very true. It's like speaking things into existence. My mom always used to say that. She's a Sag, December 8th, and I'm July 26th, also 8. So it's like, you know, she always would say, like, don't speak, don't speaking these negative things, right?
I say that too. It's funny, 'cause
you
I
know,
have
so it's like that the power of like
words.
bringing these manifestations, and also how the spirit dictates the path of your life.
That's interesting too with the Gemini too. Because Gemini is like, what? I'm speaking stuff. I'm saying stuff.
Right.
Like,
Gemini
no.
is like, no. Gemini is like, I have Gemini rising. My mom's a Sag, so that's the opposition. Yeah. It's like, oh, I just wanna know and explain some stuff. Oh, we're doing it. But it's just interesting, you guys. Keep in mind, I will reiterate, this is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Leo. If you have Venus in Leo, because Venus is in Leo, and you're thinking, or your partner has Venus in Leo, and you're a Leo, that would be a really good thing for you to really, this is probably resonating very heavily. Yeah. Or if you have Venus in Leo, it's talking about what you're attracted to. You're probably attracted to the idea of Leo. Especially, you might even be frustrated with it, especially if you're a water sign and you have Venus in Leo. You're going to be like, why am I so attracted to this kind of opposite idea of me? Or if you're Aquarius, like with Venus and Leo, it's going to be like a very interesting kind of thing going on. But yeah, guys, I'm excited for you to see what's going to happen in your birthday season, our birthday season around the corner. I know that you guys have been putting a lot of work into the universe recently, and like you kind of been like really quiet. The universe had kind of left that whole side alone for a while.
Fixed signs and cardinal signs.
But it's going to start to pick up. And the wheel is definitely turning. With Jupiter here, if you're a female, there's definitely a large possibility you can meet your husband soon. An initiation of that could happen if you're single, that person, or
it's coming. There's a little bit of a gap.
Or if you're a gay male and there's something to do with a male. If you're a straight male, it could be like something to do with like your job or your career, even, because it is the Emperor's here. So it could be like, what are you building? Are you starting a business?
Some of you,
or you could definitely be meeting the man of your life, like,
or somebody could be coming back to you. And the thing is that like if this situation comes back to you, you need to be able to release those feelings of pain from the past. We should be going because we have to do some other videos.
Leo, this was juicy.
We love you.
I can't wait till next month to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Get out there.
Your birthday reading,
the sun is shining. We're in your season. We're officially in summer. So we're officially in the summer season.
Here.
Cancer, Leo, Virgo. Your need to be needed, and we need you. So go ahead and shine and do the Dizzo. Like, I know I'm making some changes. You see us, we're literally metamorphosizing right now, and the fixed energies are doing their little shifts. So it'll be interesting to see how you make it through this Cancer evolution.
I just thought about something. We both have Venus and Leo, Mars and Aquarius, so it just correlates to me. Everything that I said to you for this reading really correlates to me as well, because we have that placement. So I'm all in with this. I'm gonna watch this later.
Yeah, it's juicy. It's like there's a lot here that I need to look back at, and I'm like, who is the Aries that might provide you with something? What fire sign? There's definitely something to do with
it might be a Sagittarius guy. Actually.
Yeah. Or, you know what, there could even be an Aquarius for some of you, because it's Leo opposites attract.
Right.
And there could be an Aquarius that really, holds something, or an Aquarius-like thing, which means film, right, or photography.
This could be something that happens.
Could be something that happens for you.
News,
scale. Media, maybe you get a job that
place.
Now you can express. You really get to be yourself, whatever that is. It's like you rising to this place where you get to be what you haven't been. You've been so like this. You've been playing by the rules. You've been doing things that everybody told you to do.
Right.
You've been buttoning up your shirt, and you've been tying your collar, and you brush your teeth. You do all the things.
There, honey, right in the center.
Control. And now there's like a large possibility of you breaking away from this thing in your mind, this feeling in your mind, and really getting back to something within yourself where you feel like you can really initiate that. There might be some more freedom that comes up. I'm getting the idea of freedom with Jupiter being here.
I feel like, he's getting something out of this reading too. So I think like what you guys should do is acknowledge those vulnerabilities, right? So then that you can move past them and you can look at the opposite side of that coin, which is the strength. Now you're working from a vantage point that is one that is beneficial to you, right? One that is going to bring about more opportunity for you, because you don't want to be focusing on those things in the past or in the present. It still applies. that were causing you all of this fuckery of the mind?
I literally, like, yeah, with things that were, I feel like, or people that were, like, not serving me in that way, I literally just trained myself to stop saying their names. To stop even mentioning it. Even when I think about it, I think about it to myself, but I don't solidify it in the universe because it's not important.
And listen, you guys, if you have
you have to train yourself.
Right, because listen, I had
and you can do that.
Delete like 200 photos from my phone, and then I was going through my phone and I saw some photos that were there that needed to go, and I'm gonna get those too. I'm gonna hit them up style.
Cutting the fat away, as we said.
Blue Cantrell. Whoa. When the cold and everything goes.
Right.
You remember that song? Hit 'em up style. Hit 'em up style.
Really I have it all.
Okay, Blue Cantrell.
Hey, ladies. I remember.
When your man
right.
Just go back and hit 'em up style.
And like right now, you know, there definitely could be somebody
let 'em know that
who needs you. Or you feel like you need somebody. And you need to go ahead and just put more energy into whatever that is. I feel like it's like, and I feel like it's something to do with work or with your ritualism of like your commitment. So it's like, it's not, if it is a relationship, it's not a light relationship. It's like you're thinking about something serious.
You're changing up a familiarity scenario.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Your routine.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. Thank you, Leo.
Wow, it's almost I didn't want to let you go, Leo. I love you so much. We need you. Shine brightly.
ProvidenceTarot@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram.
Right, you can
Providence Tarot.
Book your private with us.
Right.
Because the price is going to go up during Leo season.
Right.
So this is like the last time, like Cancer, that you can get it at the price that we offer it. And if you want to know what that price is, just email us at providencetarot@gmail.com.
Right.
And we will get back to you and send you the template of options. If you're here in New York City, we can meet you. We will meet you in person. It's always great to have the energy and the cards and the present presentation of us.
We do groups, so email us for those.
FaceTime, WhatsApp, Venmo us, PayPal us, all that type of stuff. We're here for you. Well, yeah, and like once you pay and we confirm your payment, then we set our schedule to accommodate you.
Also,
so we will make it work for you.
Right. Also,
you know, obviously we have lives and we teach classes.
Very importantly,
we have availability standards too.
Very importantly, if you would like to donate to us, email us and we will send you the link.
We are artists in New York.
We will send you the link to our
You guys are going to see us dance soon. You should get excited.
Yeah, we're going to do a little something for you. And I don't think you guys are ready for that either. Anyway, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye, Leo.
Bye.